All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. I got another watch list for you, and the bear market rally is back. It kind of pains me to say this, but today the market went up, and even right now the futures are lining up very, very bullish, setting up for tomorrow. But a lot of things changed today in very, very weird and subtle ways. But don't get it twisted. The moral of this story is earnings. So you had Bank of America this morning. It wasn't too bad. You're going to get Netflix, Goldman Sachs, Lockheed Martin, and the airlines tomorrow. But earnings mode is very, very bullish, in how we traded today. It was a lot of that. So there was some other UK stuff that ended up being positive, but we have a lot to talk about. Here is your daily chart. What I'm saying is we had the 347 low, came up, came down, and now we are back up. And I'm telling you, next few days are going to be crazy, and we're going to have the earnings. So we got a lot to go over. I got the plays, I got the recap, everything that happened for tomorrow, and what to watch for the rest of the week, because the bonds are still not playing along. So it's still volatile. There's a lot in play. It is going to be crazy, but Chattadonia, welcome to earnings season, baby. So I hope you're ready for it. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/thestockmarket. I have no idea what I'm doing with my hands, but are you ready? And you see this? You see the bleach? I don't know if y'all are as sentimental as I am, because, like, dude, I've wore this shirt during volatility, and like usually Snapchat earnings week, futures are open. They're at 3712 already. How many? That's a 0.5% up already anyways, but the shirt got bleached. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of saying, okay, run it, baby.
Walking to the couch, it's the 2020 legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
So right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, as far as what happened today and why we're getting this positivity, pretty much the United Kingdom saved the day. So yes, we have to talk about earnings, but literally earnings and seasonality right now, it is making people confident. And then today, remember last week, we were talking about the bonds, we were talking about the gilts and whatever happens and how important that will be. Well, today it was Monday morning, and Jeremy Hunt, I said Jeremy Corbyn, I'm confusing him. He's the new chancellor. He had a speech today and people really, really liked it. They reversed a lot. It doesn't mean this is over just yet, but the point was the bond market in the United Kingdom, they really liked it today. And then the pound, that offered a lot of relief. So literally the dollar went down, the bonds were up in the morning, and that's what we're going to need to talk about. But overall, you could start with the United Kingdom. That calmed things down. You had bad data in the morning. I don't think it really had too big of an effect. Maybe bad data is good data, but then the Bank of America earnings in the morning, and just this optimism towards this time of year. The fact that we haven't had really any bad earnings just yet. The bank stocks for the most part have been decent, or at the very least, they've been saying things about the consumer that have been positive. People haven't really reacted too negative just yet. So clearly the volatility is present. We're going to see where it plays out from now, but literally it is all going to be set by this trend of earnings. And now you even have some of the biggest bears calling for a little bit of a rally if the earnings does not scare people. Michael Wilson from Morgan Stanley, this guy has been on point this year and extremely bearish, but he was even saying we might even get a little bit of a rally now that we are bouncing at that 200-week average. And remember, we've been bringing this up. A lot of people have been focusing on it. If we do bounce from here and the earnings are good, that will be a solid level of support. So we'll see what happens, but that is key number one. Then key number two, ladies and gentlemen, earnings. Like I'm saying, the trend is going to be important. And now tomorrow you're going to get big tech with Netflix. They're coming after the bell, but then you're going to get more financials and credit card companies today. There was even news on the credit card companies today as well too, but I would watch these two industries this week. We're going to see a little bit of them, but usually the first week of earnings, it's going to be Netflix and financials. And then now tomorrow morning, and even towards the end of the week, you're going to get like Johnson & Johnson and all of these companies. And again, anything anything related to the consumer, that is going to get people moving. So watch out for that. And then finally, we talked about it all day on stream. You've got some hints of it, but we really need to watch the bonds and yen this week. Now, the yen is going to be a little bit weird because with the pound making all these moves, the yen keeps hitting historic levels, and that is not good. And that's one of those things we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. Any bounce we've seen, the yen didn't play along, and same thing with the bonds. TLT hit a new low today, which is quite amazing. And like we've been talking about, the 10-year still at 4%. So this is something we really, really want to watch, because even if people are saying no mini rally, even if earnings are good and we watch the market go up, but these bonds don't play along, especially throughout earnings, it will create a divergence, and it sadly is going to match up right when we get Powell. And maybe the bonds won't make their move till they hear from Powell in about 2 weeks. So overall, pretty straightforward. It's all about earnings. It's all about the levels and the momentum. And if that's enough to set the trend and take advantage of the season, otherwise, we got to watch the global factors. If we get any more negative impulses, again, whether it's the data this week or mainly from earnings, it's pretty much going to decide everything. And we'll see if we get a little bit of relief, or maybe the volatility doesn't leave. But let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I got 3 different plays that I went over. I want to go over. We went over. Man, I'm messing it up right now. We did a bunch of plays today. That's why I made a bunch of trades. I'm still in one of those ESs, so I'm like kind of watching it live right now because it's a future trade and the future's just open. But I do have 3 or actually 4 stocks, and some of them I really, really like. But now I said this today, and I really want you to understand, earnings is going to be an opportunity. Even if you want to trade options, like I've been saying, just be careful of the premiums. But afterwards on earnings, anytime we get a premium crush, I think that could be opportunity. And in general now, as these earnings come out, companies are going to position, and you've seen earnings before. Again, even without volatility, we get excited about earnings. So just understand what you're getting into right here. But as far as the first play, it's related to earnings. We played Netflix the other day. I'm not going to play it tomorrow. Maybe we get a run up, but honestly, it could be a little risky. But Disney now, it's always the easy Netflix sympathy, but sometimes it will lag by a week or so. So this one, we got to be careful for, because it will have some delays, but usually there's some sort of effect there with Netflix. So I like it. I think Nancy, she had shares expiring on it. She lost like 300 grand on it today, but I think coming into earnings, and even with Netflix tomorrow, this will be the first easy sympathy. So definitely watch out for them. I'm going to be eyeing that in the morning. And then play number 2, baby, Goldman Sachs. Man, they announced some big changes in the morning, and the bank stocks have been killing it for earnings. I actually haven't played any. I've been looking at the options. I even identified that Morgan Stanley post earnings. It hasn't had the bounce up, and I think once all the financials report, we'll start seeing them move together. But so far, the banks have moved pretty big. So watch for any post earnings continuation. Once we get Goldman, we pretty much now have heard from most of the big banks. There's going to be a couple of other ones, but I definitely think this will be a good one to watch. But they report tomorrow morning. That is play number 2. And then play number 3 is not the final one. I got 4 today again. But SMH and SOXL, this is the upside to the chip. So I brought up SOXL on stream. Shout out JO. All the people on stream, man, y'all hooking it up. Y'all were like, well, check out SMH. It moves up a little bit better. So I think you got some options, but the overall logic here is that if this earnings and optimism ends up being good, I think there's just going to be a good risk to reward on chips after they have been absolutely mollywopped and beaten down. So I'm going to be watching these. And again, this is one of those risk reward plays like the SOXL. I think it could go down a little bit, but it's one where it's like, well, it could go down a little bit, but on a small amount of shares, you actually might just get some better upside. We've done that a couple times, even like the DFEN I'm holding, and then the Yang and EPV we've gone over the last couple of weeks. But watch out for them. I really like the idea. That is play number 3, and then play number 4, the final one. This one's an interesting one, but Credit Suisse, and I don't like the downside. So I'm not saying short it. I don't think there's meat on the bone, and I really wouldn't want to short anything like this. Again, I brought up Deutsche Bank many times in relation, but I don't like it to the downside. They had news today about selling some of their units and doing stuff, but I just like the risk to reward. So this one, you got to hang with me on it. Pretty much, I don't think it could go much lower. I think good news will rise it up and you could pretty much gain more than you will go down. But like the risk is they're going through all this stuff. There's news and rumors. The risk is you go long and then you just wake up and they're bankrupt, or you wake up and it's like really, really bad news. So there's no real floor to it. But other than that, in the short term, until anything bad develops, there's a little mini floor, but the floor isn't safe. And that's why I'm saying I'm going to be watching it. I almost took the play today, but I was like, nah, I'm going to chill a little bit. But definitely have my eye on that one, especially with all of the news. But those are the main plays. As far as everything else, like I said, we made a ton of trades today. I even ended up holding one of them long. I'm long on the ES right now, so I got a little bit of upside. And remember, we're holding the downside for the rest of the week. But as far as the trades, I started off this morning. I had to do it. I went with UNG. Again, it gapped down. It was down 6%. Actually, I don't know why it didn't show up there. It should have on the transaction. But even at night, the futures gapped down after I made the watch list. It was already down 3. I even bought a /QG future on natural gas. So I bought 100 shares of UNG. I also added my QG. You should know the plan at this point. Really, I'm just going to be buying every single one of the dips, especially if it's a 6% gap down. Those are the ones that I love, but it's either I'm going to lose a lot of money or by the end of winter, we should be able to take profits, and I'm buying all the way down until the meantime. But that was the first play of the day. Then Tesla, remember I bought that on Friday, 20 shares. I actually sold out for $300 net profit. I was like, hey, 7-8%, I can't complain. And Tesla, I've hit it a couple times, so I was like, all right, let's run it. Took that, shorted Cigna. There was news about them defrauding the government and that the government added on to a whistleblower lawsuit, had a drop and pop, then eventually came down like 3-4 hours later. I covered it for like a $30 profit. It was big. Again, 50 shares on 290. I mean, it was a lot of money. And then even after the bounce, I was like, all right, let me reposition. I think I could have got a way better position. I may even look for a follow-up. And again, you see all of those, but there was that one. Then I went with the MES. I was trying to do a trade, and you can even see, oh man, I wish I went with the ES, but I went with a mini instead of the ES. So I actually even sold that one out a little bit lower than, or a little bit higher, but right afterwards, I wanted the big ES instead of the small one. Then I got that 3683, sold out at 3692. Is about $500 on a day trade. And then the peach came in. There was another move, but instead of going with the big ES, I traded the MES and I grabbed 3 of them, 367275, sold out at 3685, made about $200 on that one. Then I took another ES day trade, 3694 to 3696. It was like $50 or $75. And then the final one, 369675, literally about a point higher than where I sold the last one. So you could see I was going at different times, but like 10-20 minutes later. And this was the trade I made by the end of the day. But I said, hey, I think I'm gonna ride this through. I drew down like $600-700, ended up coming up, and I believe I'm up on it now. So let us actually get to the holdings. So there's the /ES. It's the second one down. It says my P&L's open. It would have taken too much space, but again, there's the option trade that we talked about. And then now that trade, that last trade on the day, I'm holding open $500 right now. I think I'm gonna ride this one into tomorrow as well too. Remember last time I even took it out. I took profits on the watch list. I'll let y'all know. I think I'm gonna be riding this one. The pound, still holding that. Got clobbered, and now people are asking me, what do I plan to do with this? I'm gonna hold it. Again, I think the volatility may dissipate. As much as I want to say they dropped the ball in England. Again, what's his name? Not Corbyn. Jeremy Hunt, he instilled a lot of confidence today. Again, it was very good. The pound was good. The gilts chilled out. The situation's not over, but what is going to justify me holding this? Pretty much, if I could lower the loss, that's what I'd want to do. I think this loss is big right now, so I'm not ready to take it just yet. And really, the whole idea of why I'd be willing to hold it short is UK recession. They have UK inflation data, all of that. I think it's going to weigh down on it. It might have to draw down for a little bit, or again, there's a big flush and I could close out and exit and walk away now. Maybe I'd want to do it, but I'm still going to be riding that one out. So still holding that. The MNQ, that's my upside from last week. I'm up on it now, but that MYM, I'm down 3,000. So my plan, even with these, I am going to hold these till the next downside. And that's why if I could hold them, they should balance out a little bit. But now, depending on how I could do with the ES, we should be good. And again, on those trades today, I realized about $1,000 profit between the Tesla and ES, realized not including what we're even holding. So I've made up some to cover a little bit, but I'm going to ride these out. But if I could hit big on the ES depending on what tomorrow does, and it makes sense to close some stuff out, I will. But we still have our upside. ACAM, that came back, but still down the other day again. Still riding that out. Still down only $2 a share. Again, it's a bigger position, so $1,200 is about $2 and some change. The Amazon, bought that on Friday. Only made 20 bucks. Made the $300 from the loss. Remember, I got clobbered. Then the Meta, actually up on that 338. Then riding that into earnings. Then Arch, UNG, QG, and then everything else we're going to be riding through. But again, most of them are the same plays over the last day or so. And then all we did today was add more UNG, close out of the Tesla, and now ride in the ES. So I hope you're ready. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be wild. Again, earnings. I cannot stress it enough. I'm still going to be watching, again, those financials. Anything with commodities, keeping the head on a swivel. And if anything, remember, you're going to have a couple moves to set up. So I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I said it, baby. You need the heart of the child. That's it. I'm just saying, you need some new eyes right now. I'm telling you. Once you have a new heart, you get some new eyes with it. I need you to start looking at everything new. And before you make your mind up, I want you to give it a day. Again, all of these next couple of months, back and forth, even leading into the beginning of 2023, it's going to be crazy. But I'm telling you, with a new set of eyes, a little bit of woosah, relaxation, understanding you're in control. Oh, it's going to be good, Chad. So let's go. I want you to look at the market with a little bit more excited and get ready. You're going to have your opportunities. Do not cheat yourself out of it. Give yourself some time. Give yourself some runway, some budget, and stay in the game, Chad. I'm telling you, you're already built for it. So let's go. I love you. God bless you. Drink that water. I will see you in the morning. And good night. Are you ready? And what does this mean, bro? This shirt is bleached. I love this shirt. It wasn't supposed to be bleached. Every time Snapchat drops in this week, I'm wearing a Lakers shirt, and now the Padres are in the World Series first time. Last time they're not the World Series, but they're on the way. But last time the stock market crashed, 1990. Oh, it's going to be fun. Get ready for it. I love you, Chad. Drink that water. God bless the Chad. The real ones, too. God bless the positivity. I need you stuck in drive. I'm supposed to go right now. I'm just... Free throws. Ale! Okay, goodbye. I love you.